up, y'all? It's John Master Lee.
And Lulu.
And Larry.
Now, Larry, what if I told you, after you quit your job, you came to work for me, there was a way to double your salary in a year?
I would be, sign me up. Do it. Just like when you offered me the job, sign me up.
Well, I don't think it's
Double
that
that
hard
salary.
because I didn't exactly pay you a lot to take this job. But I mean,
If I can double it, it's still doubling it.
exactly. You know, if I were to tell you, Lou, that there's a way to double your salary in a year,
I already know.
I've already done that for you. So you know the answer. Or pretend like you didn't know.
All right.
Lou, what if I told you I could double your salary in a year?
What?
I mean, if you double my pittance, it's still 2 pittance.
Here's the thing, right? I think so many people buy into this story about life where, you know, if you were to get a new job, and I don't know where this came from, but there's this known sort of equation that you go through. Like, if you get a new job, ask for 15% more. And I believe that for the longest time, decades. And just based off of that formula, I was able to double my salary like every 5 years or so to make, you know, mid 6-digit figures. So there is a path to making good money by just working and leveling up that way.
Yeah.
But it took my whole life to get there. And so I realized the hardest part isn't like doubling, like when you're getting richer. It's that initial part of when you feel like you have nothing. Because if you're making $10,000 a year, as an example, you want to double to 20. I tell you, that doubling has the most dramatic impact on life, because that's from like living in debt every single day to actually be able to save money. And that money can then be used to power your dreams, right? And eventually maybe even doing your own thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to figure out, right? You know, when we were started to talk about coming on board, I basically said, quit your job, come work for me. I'll match the salary that you're getting paid at work. All right. But realize what you're coming to do here is being an entrepreneur. I want you to figure out what is going to power you. Right. Yeah. It wasn't just come do everything I need you to do, although it was, I want you to do all the stuff that I don't want to do. But also like help me level up this business.
Yeah.
And in that process, I want you to see like what I do to build a business. And I want you to be able to take that. This is unheard of. Like, people don't believe I actually said this, but I said this to you, and I'm going to say it to you. And I want you to take all my knowledge, and I want you to steal from me, my brain, everything I got in here, just not my bad habits.
Not the looks in the. No, I'm just kidding.
You marry this. What are you talking about? Who are you insulting?
Yeah, no, not the looks, because
You're insulting my mama, or you're insulting yourself?
I'll keep the
looks. All right, what was I saying?
Continue. Take all the brain.
Take all the brain.
Take all my brain.
The knowledge.
And I want you to steal it to apply it towards something that you love. Because like if I could figure out how to help you double your income, it proves then that I have a formula that I want to share with the rest of the world of how to become a millionaire. Because that is the path. I believe in the power of doubling.
Yeah.
If you were literally take 1 penny and double it to 2 and double to 3 every single day, you just double it, you will have $1 million in 1 month.
But then the king would cut my head off.
Which king is that?
And do you not know that story?
No.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of stories do you listen to?
Oh, it's the guy that, I don't remember what it was exactly, but he goes to the king, like there's a problem, and then you get it solved, and he solves, I don't remember exactly it's like, and it's an old like Chinese proverb or something too.
You sure this is not some Mormon joke that they tell you as a kid type of thing?
It's
a Mormon proverb?
I don't know. I know it's not that. And it's like they ask him what he wants. Like, it's like you could have anything you want for whatever he did to save the day. Right. Get whatever you want. And he says, I don't want all that stuff they offer him. He says, just give me a bowl of rice, and then tomorrow give me 2 bowls of rice, and then just double it. Oh. Then they get to the point where he has all the rice in the kingdom, and they're like, "Oh, you tricked us," and they kill him.
Let me rethink this story then. I don't want to be
holy cow.
Right? Am I tripping?
Situation.
Maybe that's propaganda to keep us lowlies down or something.
Oh, that's what it is. That's one of those stories that the Wall Street people want you to believe.
Yeah, so you don't ever ask for more.
That's
Yeah.
So we just
I honestly would not.
Oliver Twist in the
I
orphanage,
honestly
never asking
just
for more.
would believe that's exactly what happened, because you'd be shocked how many of the stories of things that you believe in life, that is, this is the way life should be, this is the way you should, go to work, do what your boss tell you, level up, like all this stuff, you end up realizing it's a way to keep you in check.
Yeah.
Like, they pay you just enough at work, at least it used to be. And this is really why America is in a spiral today. But they used to pay you enough so that you can get the necessities of what you need that is instinctual, which is, well, to be able to get a girl, and to be able to buy a house, and to be able to have a marriage, to be able to have kids, to be able to send them to college, to be able to retire.
Or to send them to the factory to work next. But
That's it. Like,
Yeah.
you teach that to your kids, right? The American lifestyle. Actually, not American. It's every country. And, your kids do the same thing. And it used to be pretty good. You could always have enough to be able to pass on your kids when you pass away, right? But it's never enough for you to be rich.
yeah.
Until today, when the formula is broken. The formula fundamentally is broken. And it's broken because the cost of education has skyrocketed, like exponentially, just
Yeah.
like that penny story, right? The cost of healthcare, exponential, just like the penny story. The cost of housing, exponential. The only thing that hasn't been exponential is salary. Salaries have only gone up about 10% in the last 10 years. You put that into perspective, that you're literally making about as much as you're, the last 10 years generation, and all these other costs are going through the roof. No, suddenly you have this uprising. And I'm not even just talking about like the political scenario. You have a lot of people going like, the American dream doesn't feel real to me anymore. And if it does feel you today, I guarantee your kids will question it. And they're going to start, I want to say breaking things, but they're going to have to go like, I can't go to college. College ain't worth it. Or why have a job? It ain't worth it.
Yeah.
I would argue the avid of YouTube isn't because like, oh my God, being a YouTube is so much fun. I can do whatever I want. It's that this other path is no longer like a shining example of the way you should live your life.
There's it's a whole thing with like the millennials, right? They can't buy houses. They can only at best buy experiences.
Millennials, unless you live at home till about your 30, it's almost unrealistic to buy a house when like how the last generation did. And forget about millennials, Gen Z, you better hope that your parents die young so you can invest like get the house for free. Because in some cities, I was looking at it today. I was just looking at San Francisco, how it was, and it's like you can't even rent a place anymore for $5,000 a month to raise a family. Rent. It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, even here in Vegas, because a lot of those people are fleeing California, they're coming here, those houses are they're creeping. I mean, creeping up. They are skyrocketing in value. So they're kind of a 5-bedroom house. You're spending $500,000 now when it was half that cost.
It was $250
8 years ago.
Yeah.
8 years ago. So when I tell people you need to think of how to double your salary, I don't just say that as like I'm going to shock you and it's not possible. I'm saying as a way like that should be the norm. You should be able to double for a good chunk of your life and make enough to not just retire, but start businesses, because this is the backbone of this country. People don't get enough credit to like entrepreneurs, but we are truly the backbone of starting, like keeping this country running.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to pass on to you. When I hired you, it wasn't, I want you to do these menial tasks. It isn't like, actually, I want you to do the menial tasks, but I want you to learn the pattern of behaviors of these tasks that are high value and skill. And that's the thing. Like, I've been trying to convince you this, and, with mixed results. Well, like, you'll learn a new skill. You do it for, like, how many days? Like, a week. So do it for a week. And then she'll like, I'll quit today. And then it'll be, like, every other day after that or not. And we ran this experiment. A great podcast, by the way. You guys should absolutely go check it out. But it's been proven with NASA scientists that, like, if you stick to something for 30 days,
30 days.
30 days, it could be habit changing. And that's when you change your life. And that's why you're here, because you demonstrated on your own. Like, I instantly knew, without even looking at your background, it was just a story of how you lost 300 pounds.
Less than
300 freaking pounds in less than a year by
Well,
figuring
no,
out.
less
Less than a year
two
and a half.
and a half. Yeah.
But a year and a half.
Less than a year. I'm trying to
Less
make
than
it
a
look
year,
good,
yeah.
man.
Let's fuck it up.
Trying to make it look
Give me that.
good. Less than a year. All right, a year and a half, which is honestly still pretty amazing. So I shouldn't
But
have
still,
to, like,
that is crazy.
yeah, I should have to embellish that story. I mean, if I gained 300 pounds in a year, that would be amazing too. But
That would be hard on your
that would be
heart.
harder to do, I think, right?
I think you could probably die doing that. I mean, it's definitely possible. I know I could do it because it's in my genes, but I still have the genes. I actually brought those pants, by the way.
Did you bring your jeans? All right, we're gonna try that on later.
It's sweatpants. I didn't wear jeans back then. They're too. It's just too much. I wear sweatpants.
It's not
on your dad's side.
stretchable,
Gotta
yeah?
be stretchable. Softer materials.
Almost, it's good that you didn't wear leather pants because that would have been a lot of animals.
That would been a lot of
Would have
animals.
been a lot of animals.
Wow.
But yeah, the whole idea that you gotta be able to stick to something, and that is really the power to like double your income. And you proved that you can do that. You prove, if anything, the hardest thing to do, which is lose weight like that, and that's the mentality of what it takes. So I know you could power through this, and that's why I'm like, all right, I'm gonna share with you like how to double your income.